Hi, I'm Shauna Lampi-Legaree, and welcome to the Northwest Territories. This is the last video for this series that we've been working on. We're going to use all the information we have gathered in the color mixing to be able to do this bird. And the bird is a rainbow lorikeet out of Australia. This bird has every color that we have mixed on it, so it seemed like the perfect bird to be doing our color study on. I took this picture in Australia, and I only work from my own images, and if you want to download this image so you can do your own color study, head over to dancingravenstudio.ca and the link is below. Please consider subscribing, liking the video, and clicking the bell notification. Grab your paint tools and let's get going. So here we are, I'm putting all of the 3 videos that we've done already for color mixing together. So here's the 12 colors we mixed from the 3 paints of alizarin crimson hue, ultramarine blue, and cadmium yellow light. Then in our second video, we did the color value chart where we go from light to dark on the same color, not using black except for the very ends where we need it to get to value 1. Mixing complementary colors was video 3. Using the same 3 colors, we went from blue to orange, purple to yellow, and green to red. This is what I mixed out of those colors that I could see in the rainbow lorikeet picture that you can download at my blog. Each of the second and third piles have some of the neutralized gray in the same value. So here we go. Now I promise I'm not going to actually talk all the way through this video. I'm going to put some music on. If you want the image for the rainbow lorikeet, just head on over to my blog. The link is below. So the sky is a value 9, but it is not very blue. I used the ultramarine blue and then I added in a fair amount of the neutralized gray that is at a value 9. When I do a color study, I'm not worried about the details. I'm trying to figure out if the colors that I've mixed are going to work for a larger painting. I don't want to get into a larger painting and then find out that I'm not happy with the colors, so a color study is a perfect way to practice and figure out if that's where you want to go. Now in this case, I don't think there's going to be a larger painting of this rainbow lorikeet. Right now, it's all about using the 3 colors, the cadmium yellow light, alizarin crimson hue, and ultramarine blue. And you can see across the top, I have those first 12 colors that I mixed in a strip right above, which kind of gives you a guideline of what our paints can do. I love this bird because it is so pretty. The colors on it, now it doesn't sound pretty. Why is it the prettiest looking birds do not sound pretty? When I'm working, I'm trying to create variation in the leaves. So you'll see that I'm using slightly different colors. Some are more yellow, some are more green, and I'm blending them. The brush that I'm using is a Princeton Dakota 6300F, size 2. It's a nice stiff brush, and I find it perfect for that first layer or for the color studies like this one. It works great for putting the paint on and moving it around. You can see I put a little bit of paint down and then I bring in a clean brush and I move it around. We're not worried about this matching 100%, as this is an experiment with different reds, different blues, and different yellows. Here we are working on the eye. I love birds with red eyes. In the past, I have painted horned grebes, and they have those amazing red eyes. So as I come in, I'm looking at values, I'm putting a little bit of paint around, and I'm going to come in with the eye. Now, of course, the eye is not going to match 100%. So I'm taking little bits of paint and moving them around to reshape different areas, like the beak here. A little bit of lightness because I can see that it needs to be lighter. And there's a little bit of lightness here. So a little bit of paint goes a long way when you're making these adjustments. Now on to the branches. When we did the complementary color mixing, this is where you found that information for the branches. Now again, there's a lot of detail on this branches. We're trying to avoid doing detail. We're just trying to get the shapes in place and the general information. Building it up all the way along, darkening that area. The branch, you'll notice, is almost the same value as the leaves behind, with a little bit of shadowing in there. Now up into these leaves, I noticed these leaves had more sky reflected in them, and so you'll see that I've put in different levels of greens and bluey greens, which I'm mixing right on the palette as I'm working along here. Come back and work on the paws. I'm still working with the same brush. Every once in a while I bring a smaller brush in, but I find with color studies it's easier to try and stick with one brush or two brushes, because I want to stay away from doing details, because it's so easy to get sucked into the details. And a color study is not about details, it's about color, value, shapes. And here we are back up into the leaves. Thinking about how the blue of the sky is being reflected back into the leaves. This is where it's very noticeable that the plane is facing towards the sky and you're seeing that sky blue being reflected into it. And creating that look of folding. You see what you see in the picture, but you can up the colors, you can change the values, you can make it look more like what you know the leaf is doing. Darkening up around the neck, making sure I got the values kind of correct. I put a little bit of the alizarin crimson into the blue to create that purpley color that I'm using. Now we're just doing the final details. And here is the completed color study of the rainbow lorikeet using alizarin crimson hue, ultramarine blue, and cadmium yellow light. This is the limited palette series 1 completed. Well, that was fun. It took about an hour to paint the rainbow lorikeet, and I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I hope you'll join me in the next art video.